We love Nigel Farage here in Australia, and of course he is the leader of the Reform Party in the UK. I have been waiting all weekend and all this week to have a chat to him about the nonsense that happened at the Glastonbury Music Festival. Yes, musicians like to be over the top, but this is just an outright crime, isn't it?
Death, death to the IDF, death, death to the IDF, death, death to the IDF.
Nigel, fair dinkum. That is an extraordinary performance. The BBC, of course, let it all go through. What was your reaction to it?
Oh, absolute disgrace. I mean, appalling, advocating death, the usual pro-Palestine chants before that. We also had another group on who are basically supporters of the IRA, who've called for riots, who've called for the killing of MPs. This particular artist, the most extraordinary thing is that the BBC broadcast the whole of this live. At no point, and given that the BBC had 400 staff, can you believe it? 400 staff at Glastonbury, at no point did anybody stop or pull this broadcast. In the past, he'd said all sorts of appalling public things, digging up Margaret Thatcher, you name it, and the BBC had been found wanting. And, you know, there is always a debate in Britain about should we go on funding the BBC, should people go to prison if they don't pay the licence fee, and frankly, this row is going to run and run. What was allowed to happen and broadcast is a disgrace.
What about the idea that in the UK there can be pretty serious criminal penalties for such public behaviours? We know that there's free speech and we want to defend unpleasant speech, but sorry, outright demanding the death of people is beyond any line any of us can defend here. Do you think this is going to become a proper criminal matter, or police tick and flick this one?
I'm really sorry, Paul, but we don't know we have free speech in the UK. That's the point. We have two-tier policing, two-tier justice. The rot has now set in very, very deep. Can you imagine if anybody on that stage had advocated, killing Muslim leaders? I mean, they'd be in prison.
Yep.
They'd be in prison. This is all completely one way round. There's a woman called Lucy Connolly who put out one intemperate tweet, after the Southport murders, the horrific murder of those young girls last year. She's serving a 31-month prison sentence And to date, no charges have been brought either against this guy or kneecap the Irish Republicans who've advocating killing members of Parliament, literally killing members of Parliament. So we have a completely twisted, bent judiciary and police force now. I'm sorry to say that, but that's how it appears to me and many millions of Brits.